Hi, I'm the Multifarious Fisherman. This is Seven Fish, and I am making a video today about my path to where I'm at now.
So if someone was going to start fishing as, a young kid, what would you recommend as far as getting a rod, reel, and that kind of stuff? What's the bare minimum you would recommend that they get?
So there'd be a couple of different ways I can answer that as far as giving somebody recommendations for getting out early on and fishing. In terms of the gear, I think depending on the age of the kid, you want to start with a closed face if they're really young, just because that's manageable. And those character combos, everybody hates them, but to be honest with you, they're really short. I think our kids started with really little closed face reels just because they don't have a lot of control over where the rod goes, so that short length is a little safer for the people that are fishing with them, to be honest.
Yeah, Oliver had a Spider-Man
Yeah,
rod.
that
Plus, they're cheaper.
for sure, yeah, they're a little less expensive. But the big piece of advice I would give parents of people that are fishing or that you want to fish, I remember in college, everybody, they ask you a couple things, where are you from? Do you have any siblings? And then, what do you like to do? Well, I like to fish. And I would tell people, I like fishing when I first got to college. And half of the people that you talk to that you said you like to fish, oh my God, I hate fishing. It's so boring. And if you talk to them for a little bit, almost all of the people that hated fishing because it was so boring, they were kids who had a dad or an uncle or a grandparent or somebody that took them fishing and was like, now you got to sit still. Now you got to be quiet. Like, that's punishing a kid. That's what you do when you're mad at your kid and they're acting up and you want to punish them for a little bit. You say, like, go stand in the corner and be quiet. Sit, that's a punishment. You want your kid, if you take them fishing, to have an adventure. And whether you're fishing, like, don't go fishing with your kids thinking you're going to fish, because you're not going to fish. You're going to take care of rods and reels and unhook fish and put bait on and unsnag. And fishing with your kids isn't fishing. Fishing with your kids is instilling values and life behaviors that you want to stick. So you want to make sure they're having an adventure, they're having fun, whether it's catching fish or digging in the dirt or climbing trees or whatever. Take them to the lake, do stuff they think is fun. And then, to me, a key is, and this is the mistake most people make, leave before they're ready to leave. You want to have a time in mind. You don't go past, like, I don't want to leave. If the kid is bored and wants to leave, you waited too long. And what most parents do, especially people that like to fish, are like, 5 more minutes, just 5 more minutes or whatever. Their last memory is not wanting to be there, and they won't want to go back. But if you leave before they want to, man, they want to go back today. Like, they want to go back right away. And that's the process that you want to instill in them the first several times they go fishing. And then you can get into being more serious if they're into it and stuff. But I think the biggest mistake people make is making them be quiet and leaving way too late.
Well, you could break it up too. Like, they could go swimming and fish with little.
Yeah, my daughter loved to
Take a
swim
picnic.
when we were fishing, and my son loved to dig in the dirt and climb trees and catch frogs, and not necessarily fish. But you know what? It's all being outside. It's all having fun. It's way better than sitting on electronics all day, in my opinion. That's one man's opinion. Thanks for joining me today, and we are doing this in multiple parts.